Surprise, surprise! We start off with an Audi, and they are just doing Audi stuff here. This is a merge and turn, and guess what? They don't want to merge and turn. No, of course they don't. They want to get that one car in front. So they force their way in front of the Volkswagen. No reason for it, because we are in quite heavy traffic coming away from Brentwood towards the M25. This is a busy area and it's traffic. What do you gain from trying to force your way in front of one car there? It's such an Audi sort of move. Now here, I actually don't know if I was in the wrong or the other people. So please let me know what you think with this one, because it's quite an interesting one. So it's one lane and it goes into 3 lanes here, you see. And this junction has like 3 or 4 exits. I think it's 4 exits. So I go middle because I want to go straight over. I assume left is to go onto the M25, middle is to go onto the A12, right is to go on the M25 or A12 the other way. That is what I assume, but you can see the people on the left take a mixture. They either go left or they go straight over like this red car does. And like the Mercedes behind as well. So watch the Mercedes in the corner here. So actually no, the red car doesn't go straight. This car goes straight. I don't know if they're supposed to go straight. The Mercedes also does the same and cuts me across, cuts me up and then darts into the second lane. Makes me think they're not supposed to be in that lane. But I don't know by looking at the cars behind it as well. Let me know who's in the wrong there. I don't think it's very clear. There's no signage to say which lane is for what. So let me know. Here we're watching a blue car. So firstly, actually the silver car here can't stay in their lane. But we're watching a blue car behind which switches from the lane that I'm in to lane 1, as you can see there. Now I wonder, why are they following this car really closely? So there's a little bit of a gap. And then guess why? Here they go, turning right from the first lane. They knew exactly what they were doing there, didn't they? They knew exactly what they were doing. Actually, there's no point to that at all. For this clip, there's planning ahead, and there's just this. So we've got the white car in lane 1 and the car in front of that. I can forgive the white car for moving over to lane 2 because they probably think they are going to overtake the other car pretty soon. Kind of acceptable. But the other car moving over now for what I can only assume is the lorry in the distance that you can see there. Now it's a good 30 seconds or so between when they move to the second lane and by the time they even get to the lorry. And you guys have a lovely moan at me when I'm in the lane for like 10, 15, 20 seconds. Apparently lane hogging. But this just takes the piss. As I said, there's forward planning and there's this. This is the lovely A130 where apparently there's only 2 lanes, I think. Or at least for the majority of people, it seems like there's only 2 lanes. So you can see here we've got quite a lot of people just sitting in that second lane. Professional driver sitting in that second lane. And then this white car overtakes everyone and then sits in that second lane. And it's like, is it really that hard to move over to the first lane, which is virtually clear? I mean, there's a lorry car thing in an absolute distance. But this is sped up by 3 times, and you can see how long these people are in the second lane. We're nowhere near the A12 junction yet, so there's no reason to be in the second lane at this point. And then you got the speeding ones gunning it down the third lane as well. But yeah, it's typical A130 stuff. I mean, it's okay now. As you can see, I switch over just before the hazard line starts. It's okay now, but before, it's just plain lane hogging. This car we're coming up to at the junction has quite a lot of time to move out and go, but they kind of dawdle, so they're just sitting there, and then they go really slowly, and it's like, why? I guess they were saying hello to the pedestrian, potentially, but it just blocked up the people behind who were trying to get out at the junction as well. I have absolutely no idea what this pickup truck was even thinking undertaking these 2 lorries, but a lorry moving across like that late as well. It's really bad. But that is not all for this video. Well, that's going on. Behind, you see this Mercedes here, who decides to undertake a load of people. And it's still not over because that Mercedes decides they're going to go, instead of this nice big gap behind the lorry, they're going to cut in front of a lorry while it's braking for the roundabout. I mean, seriously? How stupid can you get? Just stick behind the lorry. It's not going to cost you that much time. You're literally just in front of a lorry and you're joining the M25. Really? Well, just on the M25, we have this blue car which is weaving about in this lane. And you see there's this nice big gap in the third lane now, which they could use to overtake if they want to. They're following the car in front really closely, so they could overtake in this nice big gap. It's still there. The car in front of them has now moved. Still there. Until now, and guess when they go? Making the green car slam on the brakes. What sort of driving is that? So we're on the A13 and it is just about to go down to 50 miles an hour. You can see here we've got this BMW who is now going to tailgate stupidly just as we're going down to 50. I cannot now get down to 50 miles an hour because of this idiot behind me. Look, they're so impatient to get past. And it is supposed to be 50 miles an hour, for God's sake. And then just along here, I'm going to speed it up in a second, but along here, does anyone else but me go 50 miles an hour? Just watch how many people speed past when they're supposedly going 50. I mean, I know there isn't much reason for it to be 50 at the moment. There's no roadworks on it. Yada, yada, yada. But the signs are still there. Still clear. There may be no cameras. But it's still 50 miles an hour. Supposedly because lighting or something like that. I think a previous comment had said. But the amount of people who just speed past is ridiculous. And it gets even worse because this left lane here turns into a slip road. So then I need to move over to the middle lane, which I do here, just before the sign, as you can see. And this causes problems. Because you see, I am going 50, we've got cars overtaking on the right of me, going more than 50, and then we have a car approaching fast in lane 1. Because the lane 1 is clear, perfectly fine. But then you get people like this cutting across from the second lane without an absolute clue of what's going on in lane 1. People going too fast causing problems like that. If they'd stayed at 50, it wouldn't have been a problem at all.